not anymore. This doesn't make sense.
Of course, it doesn't make any sense that God is a man and doesn't make any sense to any human being, man. Even my wife, she was a Christian, she was a Muslim now. Because Christianity doesn't make any sense, you understand?
Yeah.
So, but you believe in God?
I believe there's pure existence, that's what I can say. As in there's an uncaused cause, you know?
There is something that creates the universe.
We could say that, yeah.
It's obvious.
I mean, yeah, we have to put this part somewhere, no?
Of course, yeah. Especially, and that's the Quranic style. The Quranic style, Allah utilized His creation to establish that there is a creator who should be worshipped alone. Like I was speaking 2 days ago to this individual from Spain, and he became Muslim after 2 hours discussion with him. Yeah. But I said to him one thing, that either this universe was created by blind matter organized itself, or this universe was created by a creator who possesses knowledge, power, and ability. How do you know? Is that the first one, the second one, which is the creator that possesses knowledge and the power and the wisdom, because we can see the effects of the creator's wisdom and his power and the knowledge within his creation. Like you can see there's an order. You understand? Like today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday, the day after is Tuesday. How do we know that? Sun setting and sun rises. You understand? Yeah. Don't worry, this speaker's corner.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So sun setting, alhamdulillah. Likewise, look, we have a nose next to our mouth. Before you eat, what you do? Smell food. You have eyebrows above your eyes. Why? Because the sweat contains the salt. If it keeps going to your eyes, it will damage it. You have a teeth in your mouth. 100%, yeah. You understand? So this is impossible, illogical, irrational.
Yeah,
for
it's not random.
Thank you very much.
Random, I know.
That's what Allah in the Quran said. The verse in Arabic, I will recite and translate the meaning of it. Allah said, إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Allah said, within the creation of the heavens and the earth and the alteration of the day and night, it is a science for people to understand it. Sound reasoning, sound intellect. That, like I said, it's impossible for this universe to come, or for this universe to come without any creator. If this is the case, therefore logic dictates the creator possesses knowledge and wisdom, will not create us without any purpose. Do you agree with that? So every part of your body has a purpose. Okay. Okay. So therefore, what is our purpose as a whole? Now let me just give you an analogy. Imagine I'm the first person to make a phone. Yeah. Imagine there's no one made phone before me. I'm the first person to make a phone. Now, in order for you to know what is the purpose of the phone, who should you go to? You. That's it. Thank you very much. So logic dictates now, in order for us to know what is our purpose in this life, logic dictates we go back to the creator. Yeah. That's why we say, based upon the creator's wisdom and mercy and justice, he chose people amongst us to send them as a prophets and messengers to teach us about our purpose in this life. Generally speaking, sorry, there's too many mics.
No, I understand.
Generally speaking, thank you very much. Generally speaking, we have something called fitra, in Arabic called fitra, which is natural inclination. Like naturally, I should not oppress a child. Naturally, I should be good to my mother. Naturally, I should be good to my sister, to my father, to my wife, to my neighbors. However, we need a detailed information how to run it out, like for example, or how to do it. For example, I need to be good to my mother and my father, but who deserves my companionship? Islam comes in your mother, who carried you for 9 months. It's your mother, it's not your father. Who wakes up every night to change your nappies when you are a very young child. It's your mother, you understand? Who's breastfeeding you? It's your mother. Logic state now, based upon the Creator's wisdom and revelation, that the mother has more rights. So now, someone's phone. What happened here, man? So now what we say to you, brother, like you came from a Christian background. Yeah. We believe in Jesus, us. We believe in Moses.
Yeah, it's the most respectful religion, to be honest. I mean, you go to Judaism, you go anything, they say disgusting things.
No doubt.
I think Islam is definitely the religion of respect, and 100%.
Not just that, also is a religion that which goes in line with our natural inclination.
Self-internal peace, I know that.
With our sound intellect, you understand? For example, to make something very, what distinguishes Islam from any religion, Islam came to preserve 5 things, which we call universal necessity. Okay? 5 things. The first thing, Islam came to preserve religion. What does that mean? In Islam, not following the true God will have an evil impact on us and on our society. So worshipping the true God and following the true teaching of God is very important. Yeah. That's why Islam will not allow you to pray to anyone except Allah, the creator of everything.
Exactly. Yeah,
okay?
straight to the source, yeah.
The second thing, Islam came to preserve intellect. That's why in Islam alcohol and drugs forbidden.
Yeah.
Thirdly, Islam came to preserve wealth.
One second. Was the alcohol forbidden because they got drunk while praying, or was it?
No, because there's a lot of harm in it. There is harm in it, you know. But however, at the time of Prophet Muhammad, from the wisdom of the Creator, the way Allah made it unlawful is stage by stage. Firstly, don't come close to the prayer when you are
in a state of drunkenness.
In a state of drunkenness. Yeah. So it was step by step, and this is to show you the wisdom of the Creator. Understand? But yes, alcohol has more harm than good. Okay. So Islam came to preserve the intellect. That's why alcohol and drugs forbidden. Islam came to preserve wealth. That's why gambling and interest is forbidden.
Exactly.
Islam came to preserve life. That's why killing people unjustly, committing suicide is forbidden. Islam came to preserve family, lineage. That's why fornication, adultery is forbidden. These 5 things Islam came to preserve. If we do preserve them correctly, we'll have good society. What is the opposite? Alcohol. Alcohol is bad for us, individually and collectively. Gambling is bad for us, individually and collectively. Interest, which is banks, is bad for us, individually and collectively. Fornication, likewise, destroy families, destroy societies. You understand? So and now, these vices, alcohol, drugs, and other things, there is some people do benefit from them. Who are they? Those who are in power. That's why, generally speaking, that's it. Majority of times, those who are very hostile to Islam, those who are in power, because they look at Islam as a threat for their business. Islam, they see Islam is good for people, but because they have evil desires and evil intention, so they utilize their wealth through the media to make Islam look bad, even though, as I just have explained to you, Islam is good for us individually and collectively. The question you should ask yourself, how a man that existed 1,400 years ago, Prophet Muhammad, who couldn't read and write, how he came with this perfect way of life? Because he was a messenger of the Most High. And there's many prophecies that Prophet Muhammad said, we can see it right now. For example, Prophet Muhammad said, there will come a time when you see the barefoot Arab man, the Arabs, they will start competing in building tall buildings. Remember, Prophet Muhammad existed 1,400 years ago. There was no any indication that Arabs would do it. Let me ask you, where is the tallest building in the world? Dubai, spot on. 50 years ago, Dubai was a pure desert. Let alone 1,400 years ago. So how is the mercy of God? And Allah is so powerful. The same thing that is a mercy, He can turn it to punishment by destroying the evil ones. So here is how He knew, because the messenger of God. You understand? Let us have some rain, then don't worry. I have it for you, don't worry.
Okay. Give me that. Let the phone have some mercy as well.
No, it's our guest, man. Let him have it.
He's got a hood.
You're told, brother. You're told it's good for me. So what I always say, come inside. Come close. Brother, you have it for yourself.
Yeah, for me. Selfish.
I got a jacket.
You got a jacket, brother. See, I have no jacket, man.
That's why I think that.
So what I was going to say to you, there's many prophecies, like another prophecy, you know, interest, yeah? Which is like, you know, it's interest.
Yeah, when you charge more.
Yes, when someone's in need of help, instead of helping him, you utilize his need to manipulate him. Yes, to manipulate him. So Prophet Muhammad said there will come a time when interest will become widespread. Even if you are not involved directly, it will affect you. Now, if you open a bank account and you tell them, listen, I don't want interest in my bank account, they still use your money for interest. Again, of course, no. How come? Again, how a man that existed 1,400 years ago, knowing about something which we can see right now. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine I said to you, look, bro, I'm a multi-millionaire, and I'm really enjoying this discussion. I'm going to give you a gift. I don't want nothing from you. I'm going to give you a gift. I'm going to give you £2 million as a gift. What would you say to me at least? Thank you. Would you remember me all the time? Sorry? Would you remember me? 2 million, bro? It's a big money, bro. I will give you £2 million on a condition. There's condition now. Give me your 2 eyes. Would you do that? No, go. You see the way, direct, straight away. Why? Because your eyes is more valuable than anything else. So the question you should ask yourself, why not grateful and remember who gave you eyes for free?
Exactly. No, I forget money, bro. I know that
they should be grateful.
Something, you know,
that's what I'm saying. But now I'll give you another analogy. If you want to buy a gift for your mother, would you buy a gift that you love or your mother love?
Mother.
Likewise, if you want to be grateful, you want to appreciate, worship the Creator, you should worship Him the way He loves, not the way we love. That's why God sent Jesus, Moses, Abraham, now the last of them, Prophet Muhammad. So now if you want to worship the Creator the way the Creator wants to worship Him, then you should do it according to the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad. So what I would say to you, brother, does it make sense to you? I said so far.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Clear to you. I'll give you open invitation, no forcing, nothing. My question to you: why don't you become Muslim? Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, okay. I'll just say a few things about why I wasn't Christian.
Yes, go
I want
ahead.
to ask a few questions about Islam before I explain why.
No problem. Go ahead.
So the number one reason I wasn't Christian was because the Bible says God has unconditional love. And the eternal heaven, eternal hell. But the only way to get to that is if you believe in Him and if you love Him.
Yes.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's no unconditional love in Islam, right?
No, there is as well. There's no unconditional love. There's condition. It's condition.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, condition.
That's
Yeah.
what I meant.
Yeah.
But with Christianity, they put a condition on it, and they're saying it's unconditional.
Even I mentioned that. So to cut you, you're right, because they say God loves everyone. But God who loves everyone is going to punish the same people that He loves eternally. It doesn't make any sense to me. So yes, in Islam, because God's love is very special. You cannot be raping a woman, killing innocent people, and they say, no. You know, so this in Islam, God's love is very special. How you get God's love? By following His teaching. Yeah, so it's kind of going.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, in Islam, there's something called Qadr, right?
Qadr, yes, that's right.
So, I don't mean literally, right? But God said everything that will happen and everything that won't happen.
Yes.
By that essence, I kind of see that it conflicts with predestination and free will.
No, it doesn't. Let me explain to you. What is the Qadr in Islam? Qadr in Islam means Allah knew everything. Because He has a perfect knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay? So Allah knew that we're going to do and what I'm going to do. Okay?
Yeah.
The other category of Qadr, Allah has written everything in the preserved tablet, which we call Allah al-Mahfuz. Alright? The other thing, Allah, the creator of everything. Allah created and created everything. Alright? Likewise, Allah willed it. Willed means Allah allow it.
Sure.
So now, let us see if the Qadr goes against our free will. It doesn't. Because why? Now, if I say to you, brother, look, don't go to central London. In central London, there's a lot of shooting going on there. Now, you're going to say, you know what? Allah made Qadr, I'm going to be killed, so I'm going to go. If we're going to figure you're out of respect, you're going to think this person is foolish. So, if you take the option to not go there, Allah knows it.
Yeah.
So, there is no conflict or contradiction between the Qadr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knowing everything, and you taking the action. I'll give you an example to show Allah is the most just. To show Allah will not judge us based upon something that we do not do based upon our free will, and we have to have a knowledge. Now watch this. In Islam, if I'm sleeping and I start cursing Allah, wal-iyadu billah, cursing Allah, insulting Allah during your sleep, Allah will not hold me accountable.
Exactly.
But if there is no free will, Allah will hold me accountable all the time. So what Allah is distinguishing between me through sleeping and because when I'm sleeping, my conscience is not there.
Yeah.
Even if you have a will. Imagine now a new Muslim. He's a new Muslim. He has a free will, everything. He starts drinking alcohol, but he does not know alcohol is haram. Yeah. Allah will not judge him. Because even though he has a free will, no one forced him. Okay? So no one forced him, but because he didn't have the knowledge, that shows you Allah is Al-Adl, the most just. So, Qadr of Allah, now in order for you and me to know what Allah has made Qadr for us, we have to do what? Take an action.
Exactly.
You see? And the action is based upon your free will. For example, I cannot be sitting down, there's no work for me. If I say, Baba, get up and go look for work.
Yeah.
You understand? So now, in order for me to know what Allah has written for me in terms of my provision, the money I'm going to make, I have to do what? Take the action. And that action is based upon what? It's based upon my ability and my free will and my intent. Allah created them, but you choose to act upon them.
Sure. But the initial point I was trying to say was, God has the foreknowledge, right?
That's right.
And we know that God's not subjected to time, so God's outside time because He's the creator.
When we speak about time, let me make something clear.
I mean, like our
time, yes,
exactly.
Created time. Because remember, time is not an entity. Yes, go ahead.
Exactly. So God created. So we know that God just exists, and then we came into existence.
God created us, yes. Yes.
I don't know too much about Islam, but I know in Christianity, God could see what was going on, and the argument is God's foreknowledge knew what our choice is, He created us to do that choice. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, I understand that because...
No,
Islam, so correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying Allah has a knowledge, perfect knowledge, and He knows everything, okay, and He creates us even though He knows what is our destiny, correct?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying we have God's foreknowledge and we're created by his foreknowledge.
Yes.
And if he knows the decision I'm going to take,
Yes.
that kind of emphasizes that the decision's already been brought into existence. So it's not really me making
No,
it.
no, that decision will come to existence when you act upon that knowledge which Allah have.
But if he creates all things, how
Yes.
can I create the existence?
No, you taking the action. For example, Allah created you, correct?
Yeah.
Go ahead, yeah.
And within you is the ability.
Yes.
Now I have ability to walk, but I don't want to walk. Am I gonna walk?
What do you mean?
I
If you don't want to walk, then you won't.
I'm not gonna walk. Now I want to walk, but I don't have the ability. Am I gonna walk? No. So in order for me to take an action, I have to have ability and the intent. Okay.
Yeah.
So the action that I'm gonna take now is based upon my choice. You
Yeah,
understand?
fair enough.
So therefore, for example, now, and this argument which been used by one of the Christians at the time of one scholar called Ibn Taymiyyah.
Yeah.
So this Christian said to Ibn Taymiyyah,
I use that against Christianity.
the Christians try to use against the Muslims in Damascus. So he said to Ibn Taymiyyah, why Allah is going to judge me to be because I'm a Christian when Allah already knew I'm going to be a Christian? So Ibn Taymiyyah said to him, hang on, if someone come to rob you and take your stuff, would you be happy if he said, listen, do not complain to the police because Allah has written that I'm going to rob you, or you're going to complain to the police? You understand?
You complain to the police.
Of course. So even you, if someone comes to take your phone and they say, Allah has decreed for me to take your phone, don't do nothing. He said, no. You have to defend myself. So in our real life, we know that we have a free will. So our free will, our action is based upon our choice.
Yes.
Allah allow it to happen because already Allah told us He will put us through a test. Because if Allah stopped you to do haram and He stopped everyone, what is the point of the test? Allah put us what test us also for Allah to implement His names and attributes. You understand?
I've got two questions for that.
Is that clear so far?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, so move on to
So you're
the
not
next one.
compelled.
The two questions about that was, if God knows the outcome of that test, what's the point of testing it?
But you don't know the outcome of the test.
No, I don't. But the point is, He knows.
What is that? To implement His names and attributes.
Yeah.
To implement His attributes of mercy, the attributes of mighty, the attributes of anger, the attributes of love. However, Allah wants to implement it based upon justice. You understand?
Yeah. So the thing about the free will thing is, so if today God knows I'm going to talk to you,
Yeah.
and He knew that yesterday, and His foreknowledge yesterday said I'll come and talk to you,
Okay.
can I really choose not to talk to you?
Yeah,
Because
but-
in my time in the past, that means God's foreknowledge would have been wrong.
Yeah, but you see what you're doing? You are contradicting between. Okay, Allah knew it, doesn't mean Allah forced you.
No, I know, but if God...
see?
So like yesterday, yeah? So yesterday was
Yeah.
my present. So right
Yeah.
now, it's my past. But yesterday, if I'm living it, it'll be my present. So
I understand your point.
Yeah.
Allah knew it, that
He
are
knew
you going to
before
talk to
now.
me? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
By that own decision.
But what Allah knew is because He knew that action you're going to take.
But
Which
if
is going to
I-
be based upon
yeah.
your free will.
But that's the future. In the future, that means it's already been brought into existence. That's why He can see it.
No, Allah knows it. Ta'ala. That's why there's two types of Allah knowledge. There is ilmul ghayb wa ilmul shahada.
Okay.
The knowledge of the unseen and the knowledge of the seen.
Okay.
So in order for the knowledge of Allah seen to come into existence, you have to take the action.
عالم الغيب والشهادة.
عالم الغيب والشهادة. So now, like I said to you, for example, now you're talking about Allah knowing that you come and talk to me, but Allah knows it. Because Allah knows everything, but Allah knows that you're going to take that choice based upon your free will. You understand? So, like, many people I spoke to them about concerning the qadar. I don't know how they think there is contradiction between the two. Because I cannot see that at all. That is always shouting. Yeah, she needs a husband.
It's not Christian. It's not
She needs a husband. You know any crazy husband to marry her?
Yeah.
So there's no to also I would say to you also, we have to also be careful from the Satan, because they're good ask questions, no problem.
Yeah.
That's what Islam teach us. Allah said, فَعْلَمْ Ibn Abbas, the cousin of the Messenger of Allah, when he had a lot of knowledge and he gained a lot of knowledge, he was asked, how do you have a lot of knowledge? He said, بِلِسَانٍ سَؤُولٍ وَقَلْبٍ عَقُولٍ. Asking too many questions, likewise memorizing. However, Satan sometimes will try to do anything to stop us from accepting God and following Him. And Satan will put it, quote unquote, as logical arguments. You see what I'm saying? Because this argument is not logical, it's not rational. You understand? Because now, like I said to you, no one will be sitting at home, not doing nothing, and they say, it's a creed for me to not work. Or someone say, you know what, I want to have a child. Okay, brother, get married. Yeah, but Allah decreed for me to have a child. In order for you to know what Allah decreed for you, you have to do what? Take the action. Get married, you understand? So you taking the action, getting married. Did you get married based upon your own choice or Allah forced you?
Prima facie, my own choice.
Your own choice, you
Yeah,
understand?
that's prima facie.
What is it?
It's like at face value. So to me, with my consciousness, it's me interacting with it.
That's what I'm saying. You take
But
it back.
if my actions is the same as God's foreknowledge that came before me, then I'm just aligning myself with what God foreknew. And by that premises, if He came before me because He just exists and I was brought into existence, and my actions are aligning what He knew was going to happen, then by that premises, I'm just playing it out. You know, it's like the movie with the author.
No, you're not playing it out. I mean, like I said, if you say you play, so now, okay, if someone says I'm gonna rob you, Allah acknowledge that you're not gonna do nothing. So don't do nothing. Would you accept that?
No.
Okay, but He's gonna say no. Just play out that Allah already knew you're not gonna do nothing. Listen carefully. To show you
before.
He's gonna tell you Allah knew that you're not gonna do nothing. Don't do nothing. Are you gonna listen to Him or are you gonna do action?
No, I'll do the action.
That's it. So don't use this argument from.
So what I meant was, it's not that it's the guy that says Allah said. It's Allah already knew that I was gonna do it.
Yeah,
so
of course, everything's gonna happen, but Allah's qadr. I mean, Allah knows it. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Allah will allow it. Allah willed it. Yeah, there's no problem with that. Yeah.
So what I meant was, what I meant was, if Allah knew that in my future
that you're gonna
I wasn't gonna. Yeah, like if you were gonna rob me, you won't obviously. But if you were, and God knew a week ago that I wasn't gonna do nothing, when that time comes, I cannot choose to do something because that meant during my present back then, it means his.
No. Allah knew it. What Allah knew it because Allah knew that you're gonna choose.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm aligning with his foreknowledge.
Yeah, so but there's no contradiction between you choosing, Allah knowing it. That's what I'm saying.
His foreknowledge.
No, but Allah knew, Allah foreknowledge that you're going to do something or not. That is not about forcing you. That's not about forcing you. It's about me, Allah knowing which action you're going to take. You understand? You understand my point now? So Allah knowing that which action you're going to take doesn't not mean He's forcing you. Yeah. Otherwise, there will be chaos in the universe. Otherwise, I'll be killing people. If they told me, also Allah knows it, therefore He forced me. No, the judge won't accept it. The police officer won't accept it. Your own family won't accept it.
100%.
That's what I'm saying. So therefore, this argument is being used by sophistries. It's a sophistry argument, which is what is it?
I'm against that.
Even I guess by you using it, I have respect. That's what I'm trying to clarify with you. No, of course. What I'm saying, sometimes we use an argument of a sophistry without us realizing. Because I can see you're a good guy, inshallah. You're a honest person. No problem at all. I can see you're a nice guy. You come in with sincerity, inshallah, honest person. But what I'm saying, sometimes what will happen to us, we start using an argument, which is a sophistry, without us realizing. You understand? So, because your argument is correct, I'm wrong, because Allah knows it, therefore, it's forcing me. Are you saying that?
Kind of indirectly. What I'm saying is,
indirectly,
if He can foresee something in the future, because we know that God can't see things that don't exist, right?
Knows everything, yes.
Yeah. But when you mean everything, that wouldn't include like a square circle because it's not a thing to exist.
To begin with, yeah.
Exactly.
It's a paradox.
Yeah, so to see something in the future that I haven't brought yet, or to see something I will do, already kind of shows that it already exists.
We don't say to see, we say Allah knows it.
Oh, it knows.
Yeah, knowledge.
He knows something that it must already exist. We can't know a square circle because it cannot exist. So if he knows something that will exist, by that premises, I'm just playing it out. It's just unknown becoming known.
But we're not playing it out because how do you know that Allah knew that you're going to take the action? You don't know. So what I'm saying, that Allah knows something.
To us, we don't know it.
That's it.
To us, we don't know.
So but what I'm saying, you taking the action, Allah knows or not, or your action is in line with Allah's knowledge, doesn't mean Allah. Yes, please, 100%. Your action is going to be with Allah, in line with Allah's knowledge, but that doesn't mean Allah is forcing you. That's okay. Now
He came before us.
No, because
we're aligning ourselves with His knowledge.
Okay, if you accept that, therefore, hear me out.
Can I give an analogy real quick? Just
no, but if you accept that, if I'm going to force you, are you going to hold me accountable?
If you force me to do
something. I'm going to rob you, so if I'm going to rob you, are you going to hold me accountable?
Yeah.
Why? But God forced me. I have no choice.
Then. Because you're saying it's compelled. Huh? You're saying it's compelled.
Yeah. But then, by that premises, we're saying that what God is saying is wrong.
No, because not saying wrong. Our understanding is wrong.
Yeah.
You understand? So what my point here is, that's what Ibn Taymiyyah, one of the early scholars, said. He said any human being in reality, because this argument, I'm telling you, you are using it without realizing, this argument is a sophistry argument. People use it to look for a way out, to accept God, or turn away from God. Even I don't believe you're doing that, inshallah. But this, the point here is, this argument is invalid argument. You know why? Because if we accept that Allah is forcing me, you cannot hold me accountable. I can't be doing whatever I like. If I go to the judge, I go to the judge and say, listen, judge, you can't force me. You cannot put me in prison. Why? I was not doing it. That's why in Islam, that's why in Islam, if someone forces you to do something, Allah will hold you accountable.
Okay.
So if Allah's forcing you, well, how come if someone forcing you, that person who is forcing you, he's going to tell you, but Allah forced me. That shows you there's no connection between Allah knowing something, you taking action. Only way it sees that Allah's knowledge is perfect, you taking an action, okay? You taking action, Allah knows it, that's it. I want to tell you something, be honest with yourself. If you stand before Allah the Almighty on the Day of Judgment, and He say, why do you accept the truth? What would be your argument? Yeah.
So why didn't I choose Islam?
Yes.
So I'd say it was number one about the Qadr, and number two was the idea of faith. So the faith thing about how we believe.
I don't think you'd be saying that. I don't think you'd be saying that.
No. If I was in the Day of Judgment and I see
the Almighty and
no, I was wrong.
But why you were wrong? You said you have good. You have an argument.
No. What I'm saying is, you're saying.
No, but sorry.
Why before didn't you do it?
This argument is it valid or is not valid?
How?
Your argument is it valid or not valid?
What do you mean?
The argument, if Allah
why
knows.
I didn't believe it?
No, the argument.
Is it just a probability?
Or is it valid argument?
Yeah, Allah knows, but you have free will. Based on
Yeah, what's this? So you saying that Allah knowing something, therefore Allah is forcing me to do something, if you say indirectly, this argument you're saying, you think it's valid?
About Islam, I wouldn't say so.
No, it's about no.
The point about the
Yeah, good.
The point about the predestination. We can't. Oh my gosh.
Alhamdulillah, mercy of God. Alhamdulillah, go on. Carry on.
The point about the predestination part was when you take them, I'll have my jacket on. They'll get wet. I'll just have
Khoya, I beg you open that for me.
And you know, sorry, just I remember something. Do you know who the first person used this argument?
Oh,
Christian.
No, Satan.
Come underneath.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Satan used and guessed
Rain is here.
God. He said, you forced me. But you see, because arrogance, but Adam, when Adam commits sin, he never used what he said. He said, I make tawbah to Allah. Okay? The ulama say you can use it after, but doesn't mean Allah forced you. It happened to me, Allah decreed it, yeah? But doesn't mean Allah forced you. So my point here is that the first person to use this argument is a Satan. And according to the Quran, according to the Bible as well. The Satan is the first person to use the argument of Al-Qadr, that he did an action because God forced him. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So Satan is an enemy of God. But you see, when you humble yourself and you know that, listen, my free will, I have a free will. And is something which is observable, something which is clear cut. You understand? But what I can see out of respect, now we are utilizing it, and guess God, when you know in the reality does not exist. I mean, it's not valid. And the reality is not valid. Because if you believe it's valid, therefore no one should be in prison. You have to be consistent.
That's why
And there's no need for court.
So,
There's no need to have courts.
Yeah, there's no court, yeah.
The point is like Christians,
They've all been compelled.
Jewish people and Muslims, if they accept that we're all predestined, we can say, it's not my fault. Why am I going to hell if I've
No, but predestined doesn't not necessitate God's forcing you. That's what you have to understand. Like, if I know which action you're going to take.
But that's predestination. That's God saying, okay, you're going to believe in me, you're going to do this, you're going to do that.
But it's based upon his, based upon his perfect knowledge, he's going to tell you what you're going to do. But is the action based upon your own choice?
It's based on what he foresees.
No, listen carefully.
So he's the creator.
Okay,
he's the creator.
No, listen carefully, okay. The creator having a perfect knowledge, do you know why he has perfect knowledge? What? Which action you're going to take. But your action is based upon your free will.
Okay. So we haven't existed, but before we existed, God can foresee what his creation is going to do.
He knows everything.
So he's creating people to do what that foreknowledge is.
No, he didn't create them. That's the trick here. Are you saying he created them to force them to do it, or he created them because they're going to take some action, which is he's going to, one of God's purpose of creating us to implement his name's attributes. So he knows this person is going to do evil, this person is going to do good. So if you do good, based upon your own choice. If you do evil, based upon your own choice. But both you're going to see my mercy and my love, or my anger and mighty, which is based upon justice. You understand? So that's what I would say to you. Look, when you say that God is forcing us, logically doesn't make any sense. Because, like I said to you, if God forces us, how come Allah is not going to judge me when I'm cursing him, وَالْعِيَّاذُ بِاللَّهِ, when I'm sleeping? Why? If he's forcing me all the time. If
That's why I said we can't say God's forcing us to have religion. Because by that premise, it's not our...
you cannot say what?
Well, what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
I agree with you. We can't say, there's Islam and that kind of stuff, but at the same time, God would force us to do so.
So you agree with me, God is not forcing us.
No, I'm saying by that premises,
Having a foreknowledge, therefore is forcing us.
what I'm saying, in a way, what I'm trying to
It's
say
not,
is, as a religious person,
Yeah.
you can't say God would force me to do so, because by that premises, that would mean the religion is wrong, because the religion says you choosing
for
God.
religious side, sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
For religious side, in reality, we know we're not forced to. I know if I'm gonna get married to a woman, I'm gonna say I'm gonna marry any woman. I know I'm gonna look for a woman that I'm gonna be happy with. But if I have no choice, I should be married the first woman I'm gonna look into. The fact I'm choosing, yes, that shows you I have a choice.
Will, yeah.
You understand? I have a will. So in reality, atheists, even when some atheists are mocking, who his name, I think Lawrence Krauss is the one who said there's no free will.
Yeah.
They were mocking him because in reality you can see you have a free will. Allah knowing something doesn't not negate or doesn't not go against you taking your action by your own choice. Otherwise, there will be no courts, no police stations, there will be no one judged. I can rob you and I said, listen, you cannot judge me. But no one accept that because we don't know you have a free will. For example, if a blind man walking and he hits me with a stick,
Okay.
hits me with a stick, are you gonna say he done it on purpose?
No. Unless he knew I was there.
See, so you differentiate between when you make purpose mean he done it based upon his will. He knew.
Yeah.
You understand? So we can see in reality there is action which is occurred by people free will and choosing, and some actions which is they have no control over. For example, if I get sick, that's purely from God.
Okay.
I have no, my free will has nothing to do with it. So is Allah now, to show you Allah justice again, listen carefully. If I get sick and I cannot pray in the mosque, would Allah judge me for not praying in the mosque? He won't judge me.
No.
But if Allah is forcing me all the time, so what Allah is distinguishing me being sick and is excusing me because the sickness is not something which I control, I have control over. It's beyond me. But now, if I have ability and a free will, and I hear then call, and I have to go to mosque, if I believe it's obligatory to have to go to mosque, Allah will hold me accountable. So we can see Allah's wisdom, and we can see if Allah is not just, He will not differentiate between our actions. The fact He differentiates between our actions, which is based upon purely our own choice, and other actions, which purely we have no control over. Clear so far?
Yeah, I get what you're thinking. I get your position.
Alhamdulillah.
The biggest question is, if you are a believer,
Yeah.
so you might need to define what sort of attributes you would expect that God to have, including justice, right? So if you're a believer, would you agree that this being should be just and fair? And why?
Yeah.
So that's the point.
Yeah, if it's just,
argument because,
yeah, that's right.
you know what I mean? If you believe that one of his attributes to be just and fair, then definitely you have a free will. Otherwise, it wouldn't be just.
Can I ask you another question about
So do you accept God is just?
We can say that, yeah.
most
I accept
just.
God is
Alhamdulillah, that's it. And it's clear so far.
Yeah, I see your points. I see your points. The next question I want to ask, I'm coming here to learn. I don't want to be on YouTube, stupid atheist.
You're not an atheist, so you believe in God.
Well, yeah, I believe there's a creator, yeah. So what I was trying to say was, I can definitely say it's not Christianity. I can say that for sure.
What do you mean there's no Christianity?
I can say it's not a Christian God because I know there's
I mean, Christian God.
Christian God is in Jesus. That's what I meant. Like Jesus.
Yeah,
is
doesn't
God.
make any sense.
Okay.
Yes.
So the next question is, if God wanted to make himself,
Even philosophically.
if God wanted to make himself known to all of his creation, why did he go through one person? Why does he not show himself to everyone?
You know what's happening now? You want to dictate to God what He should do. Yeah. The Bible says argument of absence. Okay.
You know what I mean? Back then.
No, but what you have to do, again, this is what it boils down to. It's like, I'm going to answer it, but what you're doing is trying to dictate to God what He should do. For example, if God, so you want God to go through what?
Well, what I'm saying is back then.
Yeah.
If God wanted to make himself known
Known.
to all creation,
Yes.
like I want to, if I was God the purpose was to show myself to all of my creation,
Yeah.
why not just show himself? Why not go to one person?
The Bible mentioned a good point about God to be just. who has the perfect wisdom, perfect knowledge? You or God?
God.
So therefore, who should know how to deal with his creation? You or God?
God.
So we accept God what he did.
But what I'm saying, how come? Like, wouldn't it be better to go directly to
No,
everyone?
the question to begin with is wrong.
Because if everyone was saying,
Hear me out, Timmy. The question to begin with is wrong. You know why it's wrong?
Why?
Because you just admitted and accepted that you are, God has a perfect knowledge and a perfect wisdom. We have imperfect knowledge, imperfect wisdom. The question is it logical for me as a person who has a very tiny knowledge and very tiny wisdom to ask how God should deal with creation, who has a perfect wisdom, perfect knowledge? It's not. You understand? So therefore, the question to begin with is wrong. Again, to go back to my point, this is hot, isn't it?
yeah.
That's why I was wearing a jacket. I left it home. That's why when I said about sophistry, these arguments of through the history is when you go back, when you try to the question when you look into it deeply, it goes back to with the sophistry. You're just looking for anything to what do you call it?
It's like semantics.
Semantic. There's a term for it, which is sophistania. It's a sophistry, which is to turn away from God, or to look for anything to reject God, or to try to dictate what God should do. But with a person, as a believer in God, I say, God has a perfect knowledge, a perfect wisdom. It's illogical for me to try to dictate to God how he should do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he's the most wise.
God
has to be worthy of worship. Based on that, you can read through the text and read through or like observe everything. These attributes that you think should be in that being to be worthy of worship. Do you know what I mean? So you take yourself one step back and think about the attributes of this creation.
Yeah.
Outside, even if you're going outside of the religion box, but as a creator.
No, but you know as well, so I can tell you, you know what's happening as well, I've noticed sometimes with the atheists or agnostic or people who try to question God, sometimes what they do, they take one attribute of God and they isolate it from the other attribute of God and they build a question upon it.
Yeah.
Okay? For example, what earlier you did, you took the attribute of God of knowledge and you build a question upon it. But like the brother mentioned, which is a good point he mentioned about, but you agree that God is just. So if he's just, therefore he will not, even if he knew something was going to happen, he will not force you to do something, then punish you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I said my basis would be saying Islam as well, because if he's forcing us, then we're not really in the wrong. He would be. So I understand.
Yeah, he's not forcing you.
Exactly. That's what I meant. That's why I understood your point.
So because I thought you meant if God knew something is going to occur, therefore somehow he's forcing us. That is not the case, like I said, because we have to agree that God is perfect. He has a perfect wisdom, perfect justice, perfect mercy. Therefore, the perfect God with the perfect justice, he will not oppress his creation. And that's what Allah mentioned in the Quran. وَمَا رَبُّكَ بِظَلَّامٍ لِلْعَبِيدِ. Your Lord does not oppress his creation. Allah said in the Quran, hear me. Sorry, brother. Allah said, وَمَا ظَلَمْنَاهُمْ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. We never oppress them. They oppress themselves. Brother, you cause the rain to come, brother. There's no rain. You understand?
It's a sign from God. When I talk, there's nothing, and then God's showing us that what you're saying is right.
You should become Muslim, brother. It's a time for you. God is showing you signs.
Another one.
You understand? God is showing you signs, bro. You know? I'm going to show. Like I said, it's good to ask questions. So when, it's good. But when I was talking about, sometimes you are using sophistry, a question which is sophistry. It's not trying to disrespect you or something. Like I said, something we use sometimes certain things without us realizing we are falling into something which we are against.
Yeah.
You understand? Like sometimes people use a liberal argument and they say we are against liberalism, but he's using a liberal argument. You with me?
Yeah.
You have another question?
I like the way we were talking, because I like to think of myself as a truth thinker, a truth seeker. It's good to think the truth anyway. It's good to think the truth. A truth seeker. So I don't like to look at something and say, no, that's wrong, without me going to ask questions about it. Because I live through Christianity, I ask questions, I got my answer. It's not Christianity. I knew that when, the further you think about it. I need to go dwell on about Islam, because I already know that there's a few things. Is music haram?
Before that, before I ask this question, Allah said in the Quran, it's about thinking. Allah always says, أَفَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ. You do not think. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ. You do not reflect. أفلا يعقلون يتفكرون. So Allah mentioned these verses. That's why when I was speaking to you earlier on about what Prophet Muhammad came with, the 5 universal necessity to preserve, one of them is the intellect. Intellect is one of the faculty that we utilize to carry out Allah's obligation upon us. So if someone is insane, Allah will not hold him accountable for whatever he's doing. You see, Allah shows you again, Allah is what? Just.
Exactly.
Otherwise, He will hold us everyone accountable if He's forcing us, or if we have no choice, okay? Or if He's forcing us to do something. So the aql is very important, but the aql which has to be also, the aql can be dangerous as well. If you do not use it in the way which God wants to use it. Like, you know, there's many philosophers out there.
So it's kind of subjective. It's like
No, the aql is a test from God.
Oh, I see.
Either you're going to utilize it in a way which pleases God, or you're going to think you're too smart, and how I am, for example, I'm a professor in Oxford University, how I'm going to follow a man that lived in the middle of the desert. How I have qualification. So what happened? Your aql became a trial upon you to prevent you to accept the truth. You understand?
I see,
So you have other questions?
Until now, not really.
So what I was going to say to you, like, you know, I explained to you about Prophet Muhammad's prophecies, about the miracles, about even the Quran. You know, even me when I speak to you about the example of giving you £2 million, about the eyes, you would thank me straight away. You remember me, you understand? So what I would say to you, so far, does Islam make sense to you?
A bit more sense, yeah. I need to go and dwell upon it, you know, because the thing is, these things, it's not like a quick conversation. It's
No, of course.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to think. I mean, some people, to be honest with you, I've been doing this for the last 15 years, all right? And just 2 days ago, on Friday, 3 people become Muslims. So sometimes, alhamdulillah, but Allah still feels. Sometimes what happens, some people accept the truth straight away. If it's clear to them and it makes sense to them, they say, oh, you know, it goes in line with my natural inclination. And sometimes people need some time, you know, they need some time to think about it. But one thing you have to bear in mind, that you and I will not promise to live tomorrow. We can live this life anytime. That's what Allah said. Allah said,
I can die when I leave. Yeah,
huh? Yeah,
I can die
anytime.
when I leave.
That's what Allah said. فَسَارِعُوا, haste, rush into doing good things. Because Satan always will try to stop us from accepting the truth. Even in the Quran, there's stories when the enemies of the prophets and messengers were mocking the prophet's followers because they accepted the truth so quick. But Allah mentioned as a virtue. If the truth is clear to you and it makes sense, I should accept it straight away. Why I'm going to delay it? Understand? So alhamdulillah. Thank you very much. When you go home, inshallah, raise your hand to the creator of everything. Say, oh, the creator of everything, guide me to the truth. Barakallah. Thank you. Barakallah.